Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here. This is the day when Donald Trump and Air Force One took off, and I heard there were people celebrating and dancing everywhere. And I'm thinking, this man left with 29% acceptance. That must be a real low blow. After all the pain and all of the suffering and all of the agony he caused. And people were so excited about him, they said he was sent from God. And what did he do? He really exposed all of the people of this country who feels exactly like he does, who feels that because of their color, well, they were taught this, that they were supreme, that they were the ones that ought to be bowed down to, and if anyone comes that might threaten that, then they will do whatever is necessary to maintain the status quo. Well, this is, my friends, what Donald Trump showed America, that people who had been measured in through the law didn't change hearts, and the reality that they did not really satisfy the masses as if they had that power. And so he could come in and tell the people a bunch of lies and get away with it. And he did for a while. But I used to say to myself, what made this man think that as evil as he feels that he might be, he's messing with white people. And white people don't play that. I mean, they can be just as evil as anybody. So I would think that they'd have a trick for him someplace. And what I'm saying to this is that, ladies and gentlemen, yes, when we look at Trump, we see an extreme. And we make it feel that to fall back where the Democrats were or to accomplish just a little bit, we've done something. But God wants you to know that that's nothing. Now, I'm not going to try to take away from Biden and the Democrats. What they are talking about is a heck of a lot better than what Donald Trump and the senators through the Republican Party and all of those others who supported Donald Trump, and the religious community, evangelicals and fundamentalists, right-wingers, and all the hate groups. They represented evil in my estimation. Because, why? The pain, the suffering that they caused. They didn't bring any, excuse me, they didn't bring any joy, life to anyone except those who felt exactly like they felt. In fact, they were willing to kill others who felt different. So what can that be except evil? And yet, what could be good? Good is to sit here and say that the plan of life extends itself to those who are Democrats, and it extends itself to those who are Republicans and those who are Trumpers. The life that everyone wants, which is they want to live. And in that live, they want a peace, and they want prosperity. They want joy in their lives, and they want their dreams to be fulfilled. They want their needs, their wants, and their desires met. And this will never leave them without those essentials like food, clothing, shelter, education, and health care, and to guarantee that to themselves, each one of them with their special, unique talents, engage themselves in the creative process, established to do what they have been doing and to continue to do it, but include now all of those who've been left out so that the productivity can create itself in such an abundance that there would be none suffering anything, a lack thereof. And it won't cost them a penny, and they would enjoy doing everything that they do. Now this, my friends, would allow you men, some of you who are married and you are restricted in some of your activities. Some of you can't even smoke in your house. You can't smoke, and you might want to, what you call some kind of den, a special kind of den. What they call it? Well, I can't split my mind right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Some of you might still want to smoke weed, and you can't smoke it. Why? Because it just is distasteful for others, and you want to please them. And so when you please them, you're dissatisfied. And oh boy, wouldn't it be nice if you had your space where you can go? Your space where you can go and do your thing and be you. Cock your leg up, drink your booze, smoke your cigarette if you want to, fart if you want to. and don't have to worry about anything. And if you're married, you relax yourself like that, then go back home. By that time, maybe everything will be cool. Who knows? But to be able to be free to do what you want to do without causing pain and suffering to others, this is what it's truly all about. This is what righteousness is all about. This is what sets you aside from the Trumpers, who want nothing but for themselves. It sets you aside from the Democrats and all of the religious people that fall into that category. It sets you on the side of righteousness in that you want it for everybody. See, even on the Democratic side, there are people on the streets. There are people with signs saying, I'm hungry, can you help me? Even with the Democrats in power. So that tells you it has failed just like Trump has failed. Not as big, but big nonetheless. But with righteousness, it doesn't, nobody loses. It works for everybody. It works for everybody. And see, when you come on the righteousness side, you got to understand that different kinds of ways you got to do stuff. You got to realize that now you're not listening to Trump. You're not listening to a man. You're not listening to a democracy. You're not listening to a communist dictator or anything like that. What you're listening to is spirit, a spirit that lives in a form that no one can see. And so you allow that spirit to live in you, and you let that spirit express itself through you. You become a physical manifestation of that wonderful spirit that's in you. And if that spirit is of God, my friends, it does exactly what I said. It works for everybody. And if you ever find yourself in a position where it's maybe falling a little short, might not be working, you got to slow it. Somebody don't let her go any place. You got to draw it to the attention and deal with it right there and straighten it up. Here's the thing. Who determines how much love is in God? Is the one that gives and shows the greatest amount of love. And it teaches each one nothing to be jealous of. It just teaches you how to grow and be more and more thereof. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for giving me this your time, but I want you to know, don't be satisfied. I mean, don't try to tear Biden down, but do everything you possibly can to get him to take the necessary steps. He's in the position of power to be able to take those steps. And all he needs in order to take those steps is you and I to say, yes, we back you all the way. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. And if he can't do it, then we know. And now, there's no such thing as he can't do it. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.